Super Bowl is just over a week away, and victim advocacy groups are shining a light on the massive human trafficking operations happening at the biggest sporting event in the U.S. each year. According to the Department of Homeland Security, human trafficking rakes in an estimated $150 billion every year across the globe. The increase in travelers to the Super Bowl's host city this year at the home of the NFL Cardinals team in Glendale, Arizona, putting local law enforcement on high alert as human trafficking typically takes place inside of hotels, motels, or resorts. DHS officials predict about 25 million people are human trafficking victims throughout the world, 80% in forced labor, 20% in sex trafficking. Groups like No Trafficking Zone, a nonprofit out of Houston, creating partnerships to crack down on so-called hunting grounds for human trafficking predators. The president of the No Trafficking Zone organization, Jacqueline Aludo, joining us now to discuss. Thank you so much for being here, Jacqueline.
Thank you so much for having me.
What specifically are you tracking in terms of the Super Bowl? What can we expect this year in terms of sex trafficking and human trafficking?
Sure. So one of the things that No Trafficking Zone does is we create no trafficking zones in specific areas. NRG Park here in Houston, Texas became the first sports and entertainment venue in the world to become a no trafficking zone. And what we did with the park law enforcement partners was implement really solutions and strategies and a response team so that if there is human trafficking in that park stadium, we can respond properly. We also do that when we work with other sports stadiums. Referring to the Super Bowl, we know that when any large events happen, you'll see a spike in sex trafficking.
And why is that?
It's really just when men convene in large groups, whether it's oil conferences, sports conferences, hunting, car shows, there will be a spike in the commercial sexual exploitation.